What if I told you that the person you've been waiting for, the one who will finally make you happy, doesn't exist? Not because love isn't real, but because the happiness you're searching for has always been in the wrong hands. We grow up believing that happiness is something we find in someone's eyes, in a relationship, in a job, in a perfect day that never comes. But what if happiness isn't something you find? What if it's something you build? That's what Emma learned the hard way, and her story might sound a lot like yours. Emma was the kind of person who loved fully, fearlessly, and without holding back. When she fell in love, it felt like the world finally made sense. Every morning message felt like a sunrise. Every laugh they shared became proof that she mattered. She used to whisper to herself, "This is what happiness feels like." She began shaping her entire world around him, adjusting her schedule, setting aside her hobbies, silencing her own needs just to keep the relationship perfect. Her joy started to depend on how he looked at her, how he spoke to her, how often he said, "I love you." She didn't realize it then, but she wasn't falling in love with him anymore. She was falling out of love with herself. It started quietly. The texts got shorter, the conversations slower, the laughter that once echoed through her evenings faded into polite silence. She tried to fix it, to be better, to smile more, to ask for less. But the harder she tried to hold on, the faster he slipped away. Until one day, he said the words she feared the most, "I just need some space." And just like that, Emma's world, the one she had built entirely around him, collapsed. That night, she sat in her dimly lit room, staring at her silent phone, whispering, "If he's gone, what's left of me?" Days turned into nights, and nights into a silence that felt endless. The city outside her window was alive, cars, laughter, lights, but Emma felt invisible to it all. One evening, she wrapped herself in a blanket and sat on her balcony. The air was cold, but her thoughts were louder than the wind. For the first time, she realized she didn't miss him. She missed herself, the version of her that used to dance while cooking dinner, the one who painted until midnight, the one who found peace in her own company. She had lost that girl long before he walked away, and the pain she felt wasn't heartbreak. It was grief for the parts of herself she had abandoned. Tears fell, but there was a strange calm beneath them. A whisper inside her said, "You can't keep waiting for someone else to give you what you've always had the power to create." She took a deep breath, shaky but real. For the first time in months, she wasn't reaching for her phone or begging the silence to end. She was listening to herself. "Happiness can't come from someone else," she said softly. "If I give it away, I'll lose it the moment they leave." That was the moment Emma decided maybe happiness wasn't something she had to chase. Maybe it was something she could choose. Emma didn't rebuild overnight. Healing never works that way. But she started quietly, gently, consistently. Every morning she brewed herself a cup of tea, opened the curtains and let sunlight kiss her face. She started painting again, messy, imperfect, but hers. She went for walks without needing a destination. She learned to enjoy her own company instead of fearing it. When sadness came, she no longer begged someone to make it stop. She picked up her journal and wrote until the noise in her head turned into words she could understand. Little by little, she stopped searching for someone to rescue her, because she had finally remembered how to save herself. "It turns out," she wrote one day, "I don't need someone to make me happy. I just need to stop giving other people the power to take my happiness away." Months later, Emma stood on that same balcony, the same place where her world once fell apart. The city still sparkled below her, but this time, she was smiling. There was no phone in her hand, no message waiting, no one to impress, just her, breathing, alive, free. She realized that happiness wasn't some grand moment of arrival. It was this, the quiet peace of knowing she could be whole on her own. No one can make you happy except yourself, she thought. Because happiness isn't something you find, it's something you create every single day. If you've ever given someone else the power to decide when you smile or cry, it's time to take it back. Happiness isn't found in another person's approval. It begins the moment you look at yourself and say, I'm enough. I choose me. Take 5 quiet minutes today. Make tea, take a walk, breathe, and remind yourself you deserve to be happy, even without a reason. Comment below. I choose myself. If Emma's story touched your heart, don't let it fade when the video ends. Hit like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs this reminder today. Because true happiness doesn't come from finding someone else. It comes from finally finding yourself. If this whisper brought you calm, leave a little light for us, a quiet reminder that this small world still matters. I'm Stacey, and this is Whispered World, where stories breathe softly and hearts find their calm.